Chandler police have arrested a suspect in shots fired incident at Chandler Fashion Center last night. 19-year-old Nathaniel Venzer was arrested after he returned to the mall today. Police say he fired 30 rounds from an AR-15 into the air in the parking lot just before 7 last night. Detectives say he pointed a gun at a victim and then robbed him. No one was hurt. Security called police today when they spotted Venzer on security cameras. They say he was wearing the same baseball cap he bought before the shooting occurred. He was booked into jail on several charges, including armed robbery and aggravated assault.
Sergeant Jamie Rothschild is joining us with details on a case that they need help with: residential burglary. We don't see very many of these, and quite honestly, that's scary.
Yes, it is. And by the way, I do love the rain. I'm from New York.
I love
miss
the rain
it like
as
crazy.
well. I love the rain.
So this guy didn't go in the house. What he came in was the shop in the backyard of the house. But to your point, absolutely. If you're a victim of a burglary,
there's still someone inside who knows what can happen.
Absolutely, and it's very unsettling. So I'm a huge fan of cameras for both their deterrence and this. This is a quick video, 20th Street in Beardsley, Saturday, May 2nd, about midnight. And what you see is, to your point, he's in the backyard. He ends up taking some tools. And why do they take tools? When tools are stolen, it's typically because there's no serial number and they can be resold pretty easy.
Yeah.
So if you hear this segment, please put serial numbers on your stuff.
Okay, so we have a really good shot of him. It's almost as if he's looking right into that camera. Who are we looking for?
So we know it's going to be a white male. He's wearing the light colored t-shirt, dark colored bottoms. When we talk about deterrence, he probably maybe he didn't know there was cameras. And when you do get cameras, I always encourage people, contact your police department, have a community action officer come help you set them up, at least the view, because you want to make sure that at off hours they capture the best view possible, particularly if you have a shed in the back like these folks do.
You know what's scary is that we don't know if this guy targeted the victims. You know, had he been casing, was he watching the shop, or is he just hopping around from yard to yard in the middle of the night looking for something to do, looking for something to take?
Community safety and target hardening are so important. So more than likely, possibly I should say, maybe he lives or hangs out in the area and someone had seen him. So to your point, perhaps he'd been in the area. Other times, maybe it was random. And I know people sometimes say, yes, it's only property, and we're thankful no one was hurt, but it's their property.
Well, and maybe they
use
those tools for work. Maybe that's how they made a living. You mentioned put a serial number on your tools. How do you do that?
So any identifying characteristic you can use, there's tools, there's stickers, it can be a certain emblem, something that would lead the police or a pawn shop owner to say, yes, that belongs to me and I have proof.
Got it. How do people get a hold of you?
480-WITNESS, silentwitness.org. And by the way, if you do the serial numbers and stuff, take a picture with your cell phone so you always have that with you.
Keep that with you. Good idea. Thank you so much. Always great information. 480-WITNESS, you remain anonymous.
A Glendale woman is accused of driving under the influence and running a red light, causing a crash that killed a motorcycle rider in Northwest Phoenix. The victim is identified as 19-year-old Colby Tucker. 2 other motorcyclists were injured in the wreck early yesterday morning near 51st Avenue and Union Hills. Fox 10's Justin Lum has more tonight.
Police say Tucker Colby tried to avoid a Ford Fiesta that turned on a red light, but it was too late. He lost his life and 3 other friends witnessed the tragedy. 33-year-old Jamie R.C. admitted to drinking before driving her Ford Fiesta early Sunday morning, according to investigators. Around 2:30 a.m., police say she did not stop at a red light and turned left near 51st Avenue Union Hills Drive in front of 4 motorcycle riders. Only one avoided the collision, but 2 others were injured, and 19-year-old Tucker Colby died in the crash. R.C. appeared in court, represented by a lawyer. Prosecutors say the deadly collision was captured by one of the victim's cameras.
It was captured on a GoPro, Judge, that I personally witnessed, and the victims in this case clearly had the green light when she went through the red light, and the signs and symptoms of impairment that she displayed at the time of the crash.
Last night, loved ones held a vigil to remember Tucker. His sister says he was studying to become an EMT helicopter pilot and loved riding his bike. R.C. chose not to be interviewed by police. She's being held on a $100,000 bond, which her attorney tried to get lowered.
She is a full-time student enrolled at GCU. She is studying sociology, hoping to become a social worker. She has been a full-time student there since 2020.
R.C. refused to take a preliminary breath test, but did have her blood taken after the crash. The judge mentioned this is not her first DUI arrest.
She has a 2008 DUI from perhaps, I think, city of Phoenix. She also has another misdemeanor, but that's the only DUI that I can find.
R.C. is accused of manslaughter, aggravated assault with serious injury, and endangerment. In Phoenix, Justin Lum, Fox 10 News.
Suspects are now behind bars after a deadly drug deal in Tempe. Officers booking Javier Cruz on counts including first-degree murder. Police found the victim's body in an alley near Southern and Priest after a shooting on Thursday. Investigators say a contact that is for Cruz was listed under psychomeds in the victim's phone. They say a message showed the victim planned to buy weed from Cruz. Officers also arresting that is an alleged accomplice. They say Christian Renteria hid Cruz in a Peoria hotel room before being taken into custody. Newly acquired Arizona Cardinal Marquise Hollywood Brown.
Yep, making headlines for the wrong reasons. DPS says a trooper clocked him doing 126 miles an hour on a valley freeway. It happened yesterday morning on the 101 near the I-17. The speed limit in that area is 65 miles an hour. So he was charged with criminal speeding. He was actually booked into jail. It is a misdemeanor. He appeared in court later in the day yesterday. The judge then released him on his own recognizance. He is due back in court on this case August 23rd. He was maybe the most high-profile pickup for the Cardinals this last year during the offseason. They traded to get him in April. He started for the Baltimore Ravens the last 3 seasons, but played his college ball with one Kyler Murray. And the Cards are hoping eventually he gets out there on the field and can really make a difference for the teams.